calm, sweet, and compassionate nature. Because this force is working through you can be seen. Not only on your face there is light, no doubt, but in your heart there is light or not, is to be seen. And that light has to be welcomed, has to be asked to come in. And this should be your prayer, that let this dynamic force work through me. Now this dynamism is of a very different type. This dynamism has no heat in it. It has no anger in it. It has no destructive forces. It has no cursing, no frustration. It is a force. Why I am saying no to this, then we reach a place, then what is it? It said, yan neti neti vachaner nigamo abochus. When you want to say, not this, not this, not this, not this, then what? Because nothing else can be compared with that. That's why we have to take this situation. This is not that, this is not that. So when you are dealing with anybody, or when you are dealing with yourself, also you have to use the same method. This is not Sahaj, this is not Sahaj, this is not Sahaj. So ultimately what is Sahaj remains. It is a practice, abhyas, practice of your own understanding. For small thing people feel insulted. There is a protocol, there is a proper channelizing of that. Supposing I put this one there and that one here, this may feel insulted. It's like that. But this has to be here and this has to be here. So there's nothing to feel insulted about it. Or anything like small things, people get upset with each other. I am upset. I have upset you right now. How can you be upset? It's a common complaint, mother, I am very upset. I mean, that means something wrong with me, the way I have put you down there on your settings. So best thing is now to understand that you are no more upset. You are quite fixed in Sahaja Yoga. Only keep on sticking on to your positions and this dynamic force will move. Now your experiences of Sahaja Yoga are such a lot. You can tell them, you can talk to them, you can express them. We are making a book out of it. But these experiences are outside you or inside you. If you have an experience outside, it is of no use. The spiritual experience has to be inside you. Means you have seen something miraculous. So what is the reaction of your being to it? Supposing you see a miracle, something happens to you as a miraculous thing. Then what is your reaction to it? What do you feel with this? For example, somebody told me how they were helped to come directly to Bhugaon, directly from the airport to the Bhugaon, without knowing anything where the program was. What should be the reaction of a person at that time? We should see this. The first reaction could be, oh God, how we have come here, it's very nice, this and that. But actually, the reaction should be that after all, we are looked after by God. It's all done by God. He's brought us here. It's just to confirm your faith. All these miracles are happening. But you must have faith in yourself that you are a realized soul and that you are a higher being and you are capable of doing such benevolence to others. This faith should be within you, and just once you have this faith that you have all these things, you will have the self-confidence of love. What is lacking is the self-confidence in your love. If I do this, then that person will take advantage. If I do that, that will happen. Many times people tell me also, Mother, why did you give so much money to that person? Why did you do that? I said, I did it, that's all. But why I did it? Because I have faith. I have faith that doing good to others, one day that person will be good to me. He'll be good to Sahaja Yoga. So try to do good. Don't try to cut anybody short. Don't try to throw somebody out because somebody is something not up to your standard. So this is also substandard, that we discard people on certain things. During this tour, I think the Western Sahaja Yogis have behaved very well. They have been very kind, and let us give them a hand. there have been, no accidents like burning the skin and all that. But I saw some people still very hot and red in the sun. The temptation was too much, but still, I would say that there were very few who really burnt their skins. Like that, we always have some mishap, something. So it all worked out well, and you all are safe and sound and enjoying yourself. But now, today being also the New Year's Eve for us, so we have to take a vow what we are going to do for next year. How are we going to use this power? This should be our problem now, nothing else. How are we going to use this power? So first is to imbibe love within ourselves, because this is the power of love, first and foremost. Now we'll be going away today, meet people. Here there are many people, Indians also, whom you may not be knowing. Meet them. You have to bid farewell to all your friends. Meet all of them. Now going away, after 1 year you may meet, may not meet. So they are your relations, they are your own. So you can express your love to them and say how nice you felt and all those things. As if you are leaving your own mother and going away. Because in you I live. Then the idea of love should be brought to some sort of a form. How are we going to spread this message of love to people? On two ways you can work it out. How individually you can do it and how collectively you can do it. So I have to make one suggestion to the leaders, that whatever suggestions come to you from the people, you must accept. You are just leader there because you have to just communicate with each other. You are not to dominate anybody, you are not to sort of dictate anything to anybody, but you have to be a communication person for me and them. So now you should see that how these people are giving you new ideas. Note them down. Don't think that you are the only one who has ideas. Get ideas from them. They might get ideas from the cosmos again. They may tell you something, this should be done. And should be noted down and recorded. That yes, this was said, this was to be done. And then try to follow whatever is possible. If you are in doubt, you can always telephone to me and find out. But involve them in this dynamism. Everybody is involved. Like I told you last time, it was on my birthday. All of you could have sent me a card individually, it was all right, or you could have sent me a flower or something. I have relations with you directly. So you should not depend on your leader that when he says we'll send it, and the leader should not say, without showing me you cannot send a flower to mother. And between flowers and me you can't stand. Your job is only to communicate. But you must take everybody into consideration. This is the point where I think sometimes the leaders go arbitrary. One of them was like changing the school, the venue of the school. They brought the school from Melbourne to Sydney, and I was surprised, I was never told about it. It's a serious thing. All such happenings can be told to me. Also you can send me a tape with all little things that are doing well, or you can write to me, which I will be very happy to go through it and to find out. Before throwing out anybody from the ashram, you have to send the photograph of that person to me and ask me if you could throw out that person or not. You have to respect them because they are yogis. They are not ordinary students from some place that we can go on throwing them out. So you have to give reasons why you want to throw them out. Every person is important to me. And why it is that you feel that that person has to go by, that person will be helped and others will be helped. So you have to give substantial reasons for that. Otherwise, I won't like it, anybody thrown out just because he answered you back or that he said something to you. It has to be very mutually understood that mother has appointed these leaders because she has faith in them. So you should just talk to them and listen to them. Now, there are people I know who are always there, have a habit of group forming. Whether it is X, Y, Z, whosoever may be, the leader. They can form groups, and they are troubleshooters. So anybody who tries to say things against leaders, you should not listen to that. But in case you find really something very seriously wrong with the leader, you can write to me. Always, you can write. But I don't like people who have, just because somebody has not been nice to you personally, or maybe something has gone wrong personally, that's why you are criticizing the leader. If basically you find out what's wrong with that person and write to me, immediately I'll know that there's definitely wrong. I can make it out. There's no time spared for that. I mean, I don't have to even say that, all right, I'll just immediately tell you this is wrong. So to work it out, this force within us, and to understand it fully well, what is it? We must understand a kind of not slavery, but an obedience. For example, I told not to bring many big bags. I saw the boys today breaking their hands on these bags. Now those girls who bring heavy bags will have to carry their own bags next time. You should point them out who they are, and I'll give one bus for them. They have to get down to the bus, take out their... Definitely I'm going to do that. It is out of my love for the boys who have to take out the boxes. If you are buying something in any place, we can make a device by which everything can meet you in Bombay. You need not carry out with you. But today I saw them in the morning. I was amazed how they were carrying such heavy loads. Now that means you have no love for them. You don't understand that how much it has to be done. So little things can suggest that you are not in search. In search we think about others. Am I troubling others? Am I in any way harming others? It's not a question of saying sorry. That's not in search. You just don't do something that you have to say sorry. There's no need to say thank you, but you do something that will create gratitude, express your gratitude. So we don't believe in words. If you have gratitude for someone, then give them a present. Just saying thank you is just a word. Give them a present or do something good, turn to him. Now, if you go on like this, there's no end to it. But to come to the main point is this way, that we are in a whirlwind. It's not only cool breeze, it's a whirlwind now. So what do we have to do? We have to move with it. We have to have the same speed. We have to have a complete nature of the same. We have to be one of that. So it is within us that we see this, and without we'll see that. If we are moving with a speed the rest of the world is not. So now how to go around it and how to engulf it into ourselves. All these things are not vague for you because you are realized source. It might be vague for people who are not realized. You understand what I am trying to say. But still I feel some of you feel that I am talking about others, not about you. Now think that it's all about me, Mother is talking. It's all I have to do. I have to be responsible. And this sense of responsibility has to come to you, that we are in the whirlwind, and to take this whirlwind all around the world, I am responsible. What am I doing about it? Just, you see, like you visit the center, all right, we visited the center. So what? People think that if they visit the center, then they should be given all the blessings. Why should they be given blessings for visiting the center? Instead of going to some wretched place, they are going to the center, which is a good place. So why should they be blessed? After all, they are already blessed so much. Or they think that, we have been in the collective, we have been this thing. What have you done for Sahaja Yoga is very important. And that has to be seen. How many people you have really loved. Really loved. Sincerely. We have to count. That's very important. Then what have we done for Sahaja Yoga constructive work? You won't feel happy unless and until you have done something. Say I'm a mother and a child is born to me. I just have to look after the child. That's the nature of a mother, to look after the child, to do everything for the child, to get up in the night. So many times one has to get up. That love compels you to do it. What if that love has not entered into you? It has not become part and parcel of your being. You will not be compelled. You will be just compelled, you cannot help it. That is the best way you should say that now you have dissolved yourself completely into this dynamic force. So I'm sure next time when I come, I will have better news, much better news. Otherwise, normally I go to any place, they say, Mother, this one has disappeared, another has gone away, fourth one has run away, and a fifth one is missing. So, this should not be such. It is your responsibility to see that Sahaja Yoga you work it out for yourself and for others with love. So, as for a mother to see all her children are going away, I have said quite a lot. It's not difficult, it's not easy to say much on such an occasion. But I had to gather up courage and time and decide that I have to tell them all about it. Because now it is your responsibility to work it out. It's your responsibility. In your own way, think it. What can we do for Sahaja Yoga? In everything you can see Sahaj. You will get ideas. Pass them on. Write them down. Write your poetry. So many things can be done by all of you. And there's no time to be wasted anymore. It has to be a very fast job. Because this universe is standing on the brink of its destruction. We are the only people who have to save it. So it's emergency for us. In that emergency, one has to know that the nature of Sahaj itself is working out everything. But if this does not work in right time, then we'll have to have another world. This is another problem. So we have to think seriously about it and understand the essence of everything and understand yourself why you do such a such thing. Once you start this method, not this, not this, not this, I'll be not surprised that your growth will be very much faster, very much faster. And I'll see you as very well established Nirvikalpas very soon. I bless you that you mature very much in your spirituality. May God bless. Try to talk about Christ, to say things about Christ, or to profess that they have Christ in their pockets when they have no connection with Christ. For this, Christ has very clearly said that you will be calling me Christ, Christ, and I won't recognize you. There are so many people of this kind, and that's why the celebration of Christ's birth by them is just a festival but has no deeper significance. But for Sahaja Yogis, it's a very great happening because his birth has brought such a great incarnation on this earth, and by that we could achieve our realization because he is at the gate. So today is the day of thankfulness for Christ's advent on this earth, and we have to see that as he is our eldest brother, we can say, he is our leader, we have to follow his footsteps. In our resurrection, we have to show that we have imbibed the qualities which are Christ-like, illuminating the whole universe with our enlightened lives. The very big responsibility on Sahaja Yogis to understand that when we are celebrating today the birth of Christ, we stand for something very much beautiful, pure, and glorious. Christ's life is symbolically can be called as the symbol of purity and holiness. He was purity and holiness. When we talk of purity, we may think about outside purity, or maybe the purity of our writings or talking, or maybe we are very sophisticated, or we talk very sweetly, or we are very kind. But Christ was pure in the sense that he was nothing but purity. And he went to this extent of purity that he said that thou shalt not have adulterous eyes, that your eyes have to be pure. Even up to the eyes, he said, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. So the lust and greed has to disappear from our personality if we have to follow Christ, if we have to understand what an incarnation of holiness he was. Holiness is very important today when in this Ghor Kali Yuga you find all kinds of horrible things happening. If you believe in holiness, in your chastity and in your purity, then your morality is within yourself. It's not outside. Whatever people may say about Christ today, but you know as Sahajogis that he was purest of pure. In the same way, we should try to keep our purity above everything else. The most important thing for us is to be pure people. Pure from heart, pure in our morality, pure in our thinking, and pure in our rapport that we have with others. Not just a show, not just artificiality, but from within we should feel that oneness, that understanding that we are all Sahajogis, born of a mother, and we all have to love each other. That is the greatest blessings you could give to me, and also the greatest joy for Christ, to see that all of you are absolutely in unison and in complete accord with each other. This is something one has to understand, that he also said to his disciples that the greatest pleasure for me is to see you all together in one unison. But now the collective consciousness is within your consciousness. You can feel the collectivity within yourself. So it should be very easy for you to become one with each other, to understand each other just like a part and parcel of one being. So I wish you all a very happy Christmas, and let us start this new year with the full idea that we have to have that dedication of Christ, that understanding of Christ, how he dedicated his life, which was very short, for the establishment of purity in this world. If the Sahajogis do not have that personality, they cannot establish Sahajoga anywhere. So the first and foremost thing we have to aspire is purity, as you know very well that Adi Shakti first created Sri Ganesha, who is the symbol of purity. So today we have to take a vow that henceforth we are going to follow a life of complete purity and detachment. That's not so difficult if you understand Sahajog. If you are Sahajog, it is very easy to purify yourself. I'm so very happy you all could come here. Lots of inconveniences are there, but as you being the saints now, don't complain anything, and you are enjoying whatever is there, the pure air of this place and the purity of nature that is around us. Let us also meditate and emit, manifest that beautiful thing that is within us, which is the Spirit. And I'm sure all this place will be vibrant very soon. As it is, I could feel the vibrations from a very long distance when I came. May God bless you all.
we have come here to such a beautiful surrounding. The nature is all watching us. The Mother Earth has created such beautiful scenes for us to see. Somebody has to translate this in Spanish. Where I was born in Chindwara, that also has the same kind of surroundings. Now, of course, they have cleared out a lot of places, but still if you go a little further, about say 20 miles, then you find the same kind of big jungles. They are full of tigers, leopards, all kinds of wild animals. And the goddess is called, in India, as the goddess of the mountains. It's called as Pahado Wali, meaning the mount, belonging to the mountains. And she resides on the mountain. As you must have seen that Saptashringi is also placed on a mountain in Nasik. Near Nasik you have been one. She represents the Adi Shakti. And she represents the half matra of the oak. Like 3.5 matras are there in the Om bird, meaning the half moon, half circle. Matra means the half circle. So as you know, there are Mahakali, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, 3 powers. And above them is the Adishakti. So she is 3.5 coin. And the last half coin is on the top of all these, representing the highest. So this half matra, Adishakti, is the one has got representation in the Saptashringi with the 7 Shringa means the Shikaras. 7 Shikaras means the peaks. 7 peaks. 7 peaks. That is, you have to pass through 7 hills to reach the last, 7th one. So it represents the 6 chakras, and the 7th one is that of the Saptashringi, means the Adishakti. So in the nature also, it is very clearly expressed, the advent of the Adishakti. One may say that why it is in India that we have got all these 3.5 goddesses. Why such partiality of God? But it had to be somewhere. And wherever you put it, it would have been something, a partiality. But somehow the Indian climate is such that people don't have to worry about the nature so much. You can live in the jungles for 12 months, no snow, no problem of cold, and heat also you can avoid in a jungle. So it's very balanced. So the problem of fighting the nature is not arise. because people had to fight the nature, they became extroverts, more right-sided. So the ego developed. And this is the reason that though in India we have all these great manifestations by the Mother Earth of 3.5 Shaktis, people are not egoistical about it. But in the West, you see, people get very egoist about anything that they have. It's a crime in India to be an egoist. If somebody says too much I, then it's regarded as sin. So the situation is different there. When people come to worship those goddesses, these 3.5 goddesses as they call them, then the Indians feel very happy about it. They adore. Like when you people sing the Indian music, they adore you. They think it's very remarkable. But if the Indians sing the Western music, then the Western people start finding faults with it. Not the Sahajogis, but otherwise. But this kind of temperament is necessary for Sahajoga. That we appreciate others, not to criticize others. If you are criticizing, then you cannot imbibe any good qualities in you. But to appreciate others also comes through good tradition. In Sahaja Yoga, we have to develop good tradition. We have our Sahaj culture with us, where I would not say that Indians are perfectly all right. They have all the defects of the left side. And they have to improve a lot. And they have to learn from you. In the same way, you have to learn from them. As they have to appreciate you, you have to appreciate them. Now if there's a poet who will sit here, he'll watch the beautiful things, what God has given, and he'll sing the praise of God. But if there is a modern poet, then he will curse God. His mind will find out some fault somewhere. Modern mind is very good at finding fault. So the sensitivity to appreciation is very dull. On the whole, the sensitivity is less for joy. If the sensitivity is low for joy, then they have to take injections to feel the joy. So they have to use the music, which is very jarring. Should be absolutely shaking the nerves. And otherwise, they are very sensitive to noise. It's difficult to deal with this modern mind because it cannot imbibe the beauty of joy within itself. While the God Almighty is the source of joy. When you see this beautiful nature and the sun playing around with it, you just become thoughtless. And you just get lost into the eternity. But in the modern times, philosophy has taken place by economics. So we want to see what is the economic value of everything. In that then we try to develop it in such a way that it is appealing more to the economic value. And that is why the modern man cannot see the beauty which is beyond economics. He runs from places to places thinking that it has more economic value, but that value cannot give you joy. up to the point that when it comes to art, also people make it an economic value. They will buy a painting because it can be resold. They'll put a money in a jewelry which can be resold. The whole thing you can see so clearly that even the gold and silver has got a brand. Everything is branded, standardized. So I was surprised that in India every house will have some silver, but here the silver has to be some brand, which only very few can buy. Same with the gems, same with gold, everything is branded. But these are very cunning tricks. By too much advertising and too much conditioning, they can have a name. Some stupid name has no meaning. And then they can sell it under that name, whatever they want. Like that, we have many names in the West. Like when we came to London, we thought of buying some things for the kitchen. And they said Philips is a good name. Horrible it was. All Philips things were, I don't know what sort of an alloy they had used, which was brittle. And it would break like a brick. Breaking it is difficult, I would say. It would break like an ordinary biscuit. But the name was so great, Philip. I was doubtful because the vibrations were not good. And we had a horrible servant by that name in my family. But everybody said, what a name, what a name. So we bought. And this is what exactly these false gurus are doing. They take big names, difficult ones.
Nombres difíciles.
Now what does that mean? Chit is the attention. Vilas is the luxurious enjoyment. Luxurious enjoyment. And the joy is the essence of that enjoyment is the joy. So it means the one who enjoys the joy of the luxurious joy of the attention.
Quiere decir, la persona que goza
Now for a Western mind, oh God, what a great name. They don't also see the face, which is like a mouse, thin like a beanstalk and stinking like a pig. To them he is the Guru. And the another name I heard was Guru Mai, the mother who is the Guru. Now this woman, if you see her, she looks like any street woman of India, who has cut her hair like a Western woman with very small hair, Once Indian Sahajogi told me that in America everything is upside down. If you want to make out a woman from a man, it's very easy. The one who has a long hair and a plait sometimes is a man. And the one who has the crew cut is the woman. So this Guru Mai is without any hair, without any beard or mustaches. And she uses all slangs and funny abuses of American language. But people are very impressed by her. That is what it is. They have picked on this point, that brand it. Like Siddha Yoga, big name. So, if you see the faces of the Siddhas, they look like dead people. So, this kind of branding has really deceived the seekers in the West. Have deceived. And this deception has gone too far. because it has also economic value. Like in Boston, they asked me, how many Rolls Royces you have? Now, you have to face these people who have all upside down ideas about the Guru and about divinity. In the modern life, everything is man-made. In the same way, in spiritual life, they are all self-made. And they talk like this, where I have another life, that I'm going to the most expensive Guru these days. And there's a Guru shopping going on. So, the whole thing is to be seen properly, witnessed, as Sahaj Yogis. So one has to say that reality is not economic activity. Economic activity is a human endeavor. Say for example, there's a stone here and it has no economic value. But if some human being takes it to the city and puts a brand on it, then it has an economic value. So the truth cannot be sold and you cannot pay for truth. This point has to be nailed down into the minds of the seekers, is to be brought round to their heads, that you cannot purchase your Guru and you cannot pay for your self-realization. It's not that low and also not man-made, not through man's effort, but is spontaneous and living process of God's love. I think some of you should write articles of this line without mentioning Sahaj Yoga if you want. Sahaj Yoga is the other way round. For example, I have my own name which I carry. And the first name Sri Mataji is given to me by people in India. The second thing about Sahaj Yoga is that it has to work out. It is the becoming. Here the Guru does not run after the disciples. Because somebody is rich or somebody is very powerful, there is no special attention to such a person. On the contrary, if you do not have that state and you cannot reach a particular state of understanding of Sahaj Yoga, you are asked to quit. Some people complain to me, Mother, see, why am I thrown out of Sahaj Yoga? After all, I have done so much for Sahaj Yoga, I have done so much for the work of Sahaj Yoga. Now this instrument is doing some work.
Este instrumento, por ejemplo, ahora está funcionando, está haciendo un trabajo.
Because if I don't speak through it, it is useless. But supposing it starts thinking that I am doing the work, then you throw it out of Sahaj. It will go out of order. So the proper understanding of Sahaj Yoga is that we are instruments of the divine, and that we have to keep ourselves properly tuned for the good work. We should get our machine cleaned out, properly maintained and respected, so that the work of God can flourish through us. And it's very easy. You have to just meditate every day sincerely and understandingly, not mechanically. You have no idea how much knowledge you have got. Yesterday, those people who came to me from Siddhartha Yoga told me that they had to pay a lot for this mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And this mantra was told to them in secret, you see, very great secret, individually. And they had to pay quite a lot of money to begin with. And they had to pass through 7 people. And at every step, there were boxes kept, see, for receiving money. Then this horrible Chidvilasanand was sitting somewhere in the dark, because his face is horrid. and this lady looks like a man.
So,
So in the darkness, they just tell them in the ears this great mantra. Now you all Sahaja yogis know what does this mean. You have tremendous knowledge about the Kundalini, which nobody had. You can raise the Kundalini with your fingertips. You can give a bandhan to the sun, to the moon, to everyone around. You can stop the time. You can stop the rain. You can start the rain. You control so many things. Only one important thing is to get rid of your backdated ideas and your egos and conditionings through meditation. That's all. There was a fisherman who was an ordinary fisherman. He got his realization. But he was aware of his powers. And he had to go to another island for Sahaja Yoga work. And he went to the shore and he found a big storm ahead. He looked at the storm and said, "Now, you don't misbehave. I'm going for my mother's work. Now, will you behave yourself till I come back?" So all the clouds disappeared. Went to that village, did the work of Sahaja Yoga and came back. And when he went home and was sleeping, then it started raining. He's very done. So today I have to tell you that you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of your powers. You have to be aware of my powers. They are unlimited. So I can't say you can be aware of all the powers, can know that. It's not easy. But whatever you know about me, you should be aware of it. There are so many ways by which you can know about me. That my photographs appeared in the sky, that you saw all the deities sitting around me in a photograph, that you all had light on your heads, is a certificate that you are realized souls. Despite whatever problems you had on your Kundalini, still you are realized souls. Only thing you have to do is now, is to keep yourself clean. Look at that child going there. So, mainly your attention has to be alright. Attention has to be concentrated upon your spirit. Then you become the best instrument. Your attention very powerful. It's not nothing outside. Like you may think that if you develop a big beard and a moustache and long hair and sit down like Guru Nanaka, you don't become Guru Nanak. It is not outside. It's the inside state. The inside state has to be perfected. I know I am Mahamaya, but you are very lucky people, because I always remind you I am Mahamaya first of all. And the another point is that you have somebody with you to tell you and guide you, which none of the saints had, none of the incarnations had, none of the prophets had. So please make full advantage. Have full advantage of being my children and bringing more and more seekers to Sahaja. So today I would like you to have the awareness of your powers. You are sitting on top of a mountain and you are sitting on top of the evolution. In knowledge you are the greatest yogis. In power you are the greatest yogis. You can become the greatest saints in righteousness and in dharma. Where you lack is the dedication and devotion, the pure desire. like these yogis used to go in the jungles, live there with wild animals, and used to practice meditation to achieve self-realization. Years after years, lives after lives, because they had a pure desire so strong within them. But in Sahaja Yoga you move one step and you get blessings. Another step you get another blessings. It's nothing but blessings all the time. You are blessed every moment. But sometimes also must know, because of Mahamaya character of your mother, these blessings are temptations. So be aware of it and try to keep with humility yourself in the center. It's like ego, you see, with the slightest air, you go up. And like these balloons, any fashion comes in, we all move in the same direction, anywhere it can take. But thank God there is a string which is tied. So we have to be solid pillars of Sahaja, creating the roof for all the seekers of the world, for the emancipation of humanity. Of course, pujas, you know that you go deep. You go very deep into pujas. You touch very great depths. But that is my doing. What is your doing is to keep up that depth. Keep up the enjoyment of that doing. May God bless you. Now for we have music and also some people from
आप लोगों का ये प्यार देख करके मेरा हृदय भर आया। और ये सोच करके कि प्यार कितनी बड़ी शक्ति है, जिससे इतने लोग आकर्षित होते हैं और आनंदित होते हैं। ये बड़ी आश्चर्य की बात है। इस कलयुग में प्यार का महात्म्य इतना तो किसी ने नहीं देखा। मैं सोचती हूँ कि इसको देख करके आप सभी लोग अपना प्यार बढ़ाना सीखें। और वो चीज बहुत आसान है। वो इस प्रकार कि आप ध्यान करें सुबह शाम, तो आपके अंदर के जो बुरे विचार हैं, जिससे आप ईर्ष्या करते हैं और क्रोधित होते हैं और छोटी छोटी बात में बुरा मान जाते हैं, ऐसे सारे विचार खत्म हो जाए। और उसके बाद बच क्या जाता है? तो
निर्मल प्रेम। इस प्रेम से आप सारे संसार को एक नया जीवन दे सकते हैं। I have told in Hindi language that love, you can see one person's love manifested in so many eyes here. And when I saw the enthusiasm, also my heart got filled with great love, greater love. So one can see how powerful is this love. All kinds of bad feelings, negative thinking, and also self-destructive elements can be corrected and controlled very simply in Sahaja Yoga if you with sincere heart meditate morning and evening twice. That time you shouldn't see your watches, of course, but enjoy your meditation. That will give you such a strength to love others, to forgive others. Instead of you feeling bad for small things, you feeling irritated because you think your self-respect is challenged, or else sometimes we become aggressive towards some people, very aggressive for no fault of theirs. Best thing is to see the vibrations of another person. If the vibrations are bad, no use fighting. It will create more confusions. A person who has very bad vibrations, you can't fight with that person. You cannot control that person. Or a person who is too much of self-importance, you should not try to pacify him or sort of try to negotiate with him, or also sometimes people try to pamper his vanity. By doing that, you are spoiling him more. So the best thing is to show your love in very sweet and different manner. I'll give you an example which I have given many a times, that I went to see this Gagangad Maharaj, who was living on a very high mountain, and there was no way of going by car or anything, and I had to walk. So everybody said, "Mother, why should you go there after all?" I said, "You see the vibrations. Good vibrations coming. Alright? That's why I'm going." But he had told many people about me, and he said that Adi Shakti is born in Bombay. Why do you come to me? So they told us. So I said, I must see this man. And that's how I went to his place to meet him. Now, he's supposed to control the rain. He could control the rain. So he was sitting there on a stone, and he was moving his head with great agitation when I reached there. And it was raining so heavily that I went up to his place when I was completely drenched. So I went inside the cave where he used to live, and he came back with great anger towards the rain. So he said, "Mother, why did you not allow me to control the rain?" I said, "I didn't do that." "No, you did, because I can always control the rain. and you are coming all the way with my invitation, and this range should not have misbehaved. I said, no, he didn't misbehave. So what happened? He was quite in a temper, I said, you settle down. I'll tell you what has happened. See, you have bought a sari for me, and you are a sannyasi, and I won't take a sari from a sannyasi, so the rain has made it convenient. Now it's all drenched, so I'll have to take your sari. Immediately he felt terrible love for me, started crying, and he fell at my feet. And then he said, Mother, now I know what is the greatness of love, how it takes you away from mundane things and dry behavior and takes you to a place where you can enjoy the showers of love. This is one of the stories I am telling you. But the main thing behind the whole episode is this, that you should try your love, your tricks of pure love, and it works. And you must learn, gradually you will learn how to try. You should not give up. Some people are very difficult, I agree, very, very difficult. But at least try with people who are not so difficult. And you will be amazed that you will have a good company and lots of friends and friendship. As we have here now in Sergio. First time when I came to Delhi, I got such a fright of this place. Because there were very few Sahajogis. And they brought, I don't know why they wanted to do my puja, might be Bombay people must have told them something. And they brought kumkum and everything in a plastic little bottles. I really shrunk, with their ignorance. I said, now what to do? What will happen? But today, see, same Delhi, which has become so great and so beautiful and so enthusiastic. I saw them with their flags, and I didn't know there's such a procession of flags will be here. Though we had once or twice, I think, in Kabela. But how they were enjoying each other. It's really remarkable. If you can enjoy love, you won't enjoy anything else but love for other people and not for yourself. On the contrary, you will see that your body, your mind, your thoughts, everything are directed towards creating love for others and not for yourself. The whole attitude changes. Like in the darkness, you can't see anything. But even there's a small light, it spreads all over. Nobody tells the light that you have to spread the light all over. But it does. In the same way, you all are enlightened people. You are all enlightened with love. And the light of this love spreads automatically, spontaneously, sahaj. I was also very much enamored the way our Yuva Shakti was dancing and enjoying. I think it's a very great blessing, because these days our young children, our young people are getting astray. They are not so badly off as in other countries, but quite a big trend is going on to spoil them and to make them a very westernized, spoiled personality. But now I saw so many of these dancing together, forgetting their caste, creed, everything, and enjoying each other's company. This is something has to happen in this country and in every country, that we should all feel oneness and enjoy the oneness with each other. If we do not enjoy, we are like a drop outside the ocean, which can be dried any time. But if you are a part and parcel of that ocean, then what happens is that every movement of the ocean you carry with you, and you are part and parcel of that ocean absolutely, because you do not have separate identity. All these things that make a separate identity in our society or in our culture or in our behavior, in personal lives, all should be completely curbed down. And this will settle many problems, from family life to national life to international life. So we should curb down all such feelings of separatedness, that we should have a separate house, separate state, separate nation. Gradually all nations will become one, I am sure of that, because great times are coming and so many people at the helm of affairs will take to Sahaja. Once they take to Sahaja, then things would be very much different. Today it is not with them. Sahaja is not with them. They have no knowledge of our great movement of love. So they want to have separate of everything. They don't know. Tomorrow they will be scorched away with the heat around, or maybe with the rain they will be washed away, or maybe that the Mother Earth might absorb them. So we all should be together, whatever may be the differences. In different families we are born, after all cannot be born in one family. But now you belong to Sahaja family. And this Sahaja family is one. It doesn't believe in having separate existence or separate speciality. We are all one with each other, and we don't care what sort of differences are outside. I was really very much touched, because now the new year is coming with a new challenge for all of us, which we have to accept, that Kali Yuga is over and we have to establish the Satya Yuga, for which all of you from every country should have thinking how you can do it. In your country, in other countries, what are the problems in another country? Put your attention outside, not inside, this way that you should say that I need this, I need that, I need that. We should know what other people need. What is their need? What the people in our society, in our nation, in our world require. Better write them down. What do they require? It's better. It will work. Might be. It might be corrected. It's very important for Sahaja Yogis to sit down and write down what the world needs and what is to be done. It will be a nice idea for all of you to really aspire for that kind of homogeneous society that we have here today. And will be one day, you will be surprised that we will be the ones who will guide and lead the rest of the people with our love, attention and care. So it's very important time, and at this time we should all think on those lines. So thank you very much. May God bless you.
in the most auspicious time, that is called as Krita Yuga, we all have assembled here to understand the ways and methods of establishing our principle of a master. Krita Yuga means the time when you have to do something, Krita, when it was done. So, you are the channels of that doing the work of God. You are the channels of God Almighty and His power. On one side, you have to carry the dignity, the glory, and the assumption that you are a guru. On the other side, you have to be completely surrendered to your God Almighty. All your dignity, your authority comes from Him. And the third thing is that the way He has created this universe and you in a mood of play, you have to see His play. So, a kind of mood that is cheerfulness should be really bubbling through you. So far, the idea of Guru was that such a person never laughs, never smiles, always in a temper. That was all right for Gurus who did not have to have any contact with the public but hang themselves with a string somewhere in the Himalayas. But here we are facing the entire universe, which has to receive the bubbling streams of your love. But that does not mean that you have to be frivolous, because you cannot be. The divine play is not frivolous. It is joyful.